and you are welcome to my chemistry class. Today, I shall be taking you through empirical and molecular formula. Empirical and molecular formula. What is empirical or empirical formula, and what is molecular formula? Empirical formula is the simplest formula of a compound that shows the smallest whole number ratio of the atoms present. Empirical formula is the simplest formula of a compound that shows the smallest whole number ratio of atoms present. Let me begin to analyze this. The simplest formula, which means there is a more complex formula, or which means there is a bigger formula, and the simplest formula of a compound. What is compound? Compound is simply two or more elements combined chemically. It is different from mixture because mixture contains two or more elements physically combined. If I give you carbon and hydrogen and you combine them chemically, you form, let's say, if you form something like this, you formed a compound. Two elements have been combined. For example, H2SO4, tetraoxosulfate 6. You can add acid in aqueous form. This contains hydrogen, sulfur, and oxygen, which means we have three elements combined chemically. That makes up a compound. Now, it shows the smallest whole number ratio. What does that mean? Smallest whole number means we don't want decimal point. So although it is the simplest formula of a compound, it shows the ratio of atoms present or of elements present. It should not be in fraction. It should be whole number. And what is ratio? If I say 2:4, it simply means that as this is increasing by 2, this is increasing by 4. And you can break down this ratio down to be 1:2, which means 2:4 in the simplest form is 1:2. Look at something. C6H12O6. This is the formula for carbohydrate. Now, this formula is regarded as molecular formula. What does it mean? Molecular formula shows the exact number of atoms present in the compound. I will make you understand. This is carbohydrate. Carbohydrate contains 6 carbon, 12 hydrogen, and 6 oxygen. Therefore, carbohydrate is a compound which contains carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen in the ratio 6:12:6. Ratio 6. Now that this is carbohydrate and this is the molecular formula, it shows us exactly how the compound is, not the simplest form. Can we break down this ratio? Of course, we can. 6 divided by 2, that will give you 3. Ratio 12 divided by 2, that will give you 6. And 6 divided by 2, you get 3. Which means we've broken them down into a simpler ratio, 3:6:3. Looking at 3:6:3, we can further break them down. 3 can go into 3, it can go into 6, and it can go into 3. Therefore, 3 divided by 3 is 1, 6 divided by 3 is 2, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. In this case, we've broken down carbohydrates into a simpler ratio. Looking at 1:2:1, can we break them down further? If you divide by any other thing, it won't even work. If you say, okay, 1 divided by 2, you have 0 point something. 2 divided by 2, 1. 1 divided by 2, 0 point something, which is 0.5. In that case, we are not having a whole number. What does that imply? This is the simplest ratio that will show the number of atoms present in carbohydrates. This simple ratio is the empirical formula. And this C6H12O6 that shows the actual number of atoms present in carbohydrate is the molecular formula. How do you know empirical formula? When you like giving C, since we have 1:2:1, which means the empirical formula of this guy is C1H2O1, which is the same thing as CH2O. You can't break down the values or the numbers further, so it's already in the simplest form. Now, this simplest form, does it show us the actual number of atoms present in carbohydrate? No, it just shows us the smallest ratio. That is the whole idea of empirical formula and molecular formula. Empirical formula times N is equals molecular formula. Given this empirical formula, C12 CH2O times N, what do you think N will be? If you are told that this is the carbohydrate and you are given N to be 6, if N is 6, CH2O times 6, this will simply give you, this is the same thing as 1, this is the same thing as 1. 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 12, and 6 times 1 is 6, 6. You see, multiplying empirical formula by a constant, you get the molecular formula. That is the relationship between empirical formula and molecular formula. We shall find out more about that while we are doing calculations. And this is, identify the empirical formulas below. A, C2H4O2. Looking at this, it cannot be empirical formula in the sense that these guys, they are not in the simplest ratio. 2 can go into them to have 2 divided by 2 is 1, 4 divided by 2 is 2, 2 divided by 2 is 1. So this can be broken down into simpler form to have C1H2O1 or CH2O. This is not an empirical formula because we can still break them down. The ratios, they are not in the simplest form. At least 2 can divide them, even 3 can break them down. Looking at this is not an empirical formula. Why? 5, 10, 5. It is not in the simplest ratio. 5 can go through all of them to further break the compound down into simpler ratio. How about this? K2CrO2O7. We can say, okay, let's break them down. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. What about 7 divided by 2? You see, the problem begins. There will be a decimal point. That should be around 3.5 or so, which means this cannot be further broken down. It is already in the simplest form. Breaking it down by any value, you will be tending towards a decimal point. And the empirical formula says the simplest whole number ratio. So this is an empirical formula. CH2O. When you see CH2O, this is an empirical formula. You cannot further break them down. This is C1, this is O1. It's already in the simplest form. This is in the simplest form. How about C3H8? There is nothing you can use to break them down. If you say 3 divided by 3 is 1, 8 divided by 3, there will be a decimal point. So since nothing you can do to put it in a simpler ratio, then this is an empirical formula. Question 1 says, a compound has the following compositions: 1.33 grams of potassium, 1.77 grams of chromium, and 1.90 grams of oxygen. Calculate the empirical formula of the compound. K is 39, CrO is 52, and O is 16. 1.33 grams of potassium simply means the mass of potassium is 1.33 grams. K is equals 39 simply means the molar mass of potassium. So gram represents mass. The ones here, they are the molar mass. What else should you know? The compound contains potassium, chromium, and oxygen. So potassium K, chromium CrO, and oxygen. These are the elements that make up the compound. The first thing you should do is mass. Bring out the masses, Ma. The mass of potassium is 1.33. The mass of chromium is 1.77. The mass of oxygen is 1.9 grams, 1.90. We've gotten the mass. What next? This is the mass. Next is mole. We find the number of moles. The number of moles is mass over molar mass. So which means The number of mole of potassium is mass 1.33 over molar mass of potassium 39. The number of moles of chromium in this case is mass 1.77 over the molar mass 52. The number of moles of oxygen is the mass of oxygen 1.90 over the molar mass 16. Now that you've done this, what do you get? This is equals, and this is equals 0.034, 0.034, 0.119. This is what you should get when you divide 2. So this, the number of mole of potassium is this, the number of moles of chromium is this, and the number of moles of oxygen is this. What else? We are done with ma, we are done with mole, we are now in D. Divide. Divide by the smallest number. The smallest number is simply this, which is the same thing as this. So dividing by the smallest number, we have 0.034 over 0.034. 0.034 over 0.034. 0.119 over 0.034. This will obviously give you 1. It's dividing itself. This will give you 1. 0.119 divided by 0.034, that should give you 3.5. Now look at something. Let's look for the ratio. Like I warned you about earlier, in empirical formula, we don't deal with decimal points. What should you do? Would you want to approximate? Never. Don't say this is 4. Don't approximate. It is not 4. What you simply do is look for a number you can use to multiply through so that everything becomes a whole number. For example, if we are to try 2, 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 1 is 2, 3.5 times 2, that should give you 7. So everything should arrive at whole number. So mole ratio, this will give you 2, divided throughout, this will give you 7. This means the formula is K2CrO2O7. This is the empirical formula. What is the name of this compound? This takes us to oxidation number. I already covered that in details. I'll share a link to that if you're interested, or you just search for it in the chemistry playlist. Given this, the oxidation number of oxygen in most compounds is -2. In peroxide, that should be -1. Then the oxidation number of a compound is equals 0. In fact, compounds, they don't have oxidation number. It is simply the elements in the compound that will calculate their oxidation number or their valency. If this is 2K plus this is 2Cr, we are looking for the oxidation number of chromium plus this is 7 oxygen. Everything is equals 0. K is the oxidation number of potassium in any compound is 1. So 2 times 1 is 2 plus 2Cr plus oxygen is -2. So -2 times 7 is -14 is equals 0. So this will simply give you 2Cr is equals 2 minus 14, that should give you -12. -12 moves to the other side, it will give you 12. So Cr is equals 6. This is potassium heptaoxodichromate 6. That is the name of the compound. Nobody sent you this one, no. Nobody sent you that one. So I just did this. You saw up to this point, you've gotten this formula, that is all. I'm just trying to tell you in case you want to name this inorganic compound, that is the naming. It's not part of the solution. Now what next? The next question says that a hydrocarbon contains 92.3% carbon by mass. What is the empirical formula? As simple as this question is, it has given us all the details we need to solve it. Everything. It says a hydrocarbon. What is hydrocarbon? Hydrocarbon is any compound that contains hydrogen and carbon alone. So they've already told us about carbon, which means the other one is hydrogen. So hydrocarbon contains hydrogen and carbon. The percentage by mass of carbon is 92.3. If carbon is 92.3%, what will the percentage of hydrogen be? Remember, the maximum percentage you can have is 100%. So this one has already taken 92.3%. Therefore, 100 minus 92.3%, that should give you 7.7%. So the mass or percentage by mass of hydrogen is simply 7.7. So we are done with mole, number of moles. That is mass over molar mass. The mass here is 7.7. The mass here is 92.3. The molar mass of hydrogen is 1. So number of moles is 7.7 over 1. Number of moles is 92.3 over 12. The molar mass of carbon is 12. So what does this give you? This gives you 7.7, and this should as well give you 7.7. So we are done with the mole ratio. Divide by what? By the smallest number. So they are both the same. They are both the smallest number. So 7.7 divided by 7.7 over 7.7 over 7.7. This will give you 1. This will give you 1. So which means the ratio is 1:1. CH. That's all. Alright, let's look at this last question. It says, what is the molecular formula of an organic compound containing 40% carbon, 6.6% hydrogen, and the rest oxygen if its molecular mass is 180 grams per mole? The molar mass of carbon is 12, the molar mass of oxygen is 16, and the molar mass of hydrogen is 1. This implies that this compound contains carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. These are the elements present in the compound. In this case, they are giving us percentage by mass, not the mass in grams. It doesn't make any difference. So they say that containing 40% carbon. So carbon is 40 percentage by mass. Hydrogen is 6.6%. So hydrogen is 6.6%. The rest of them is oxygen. So what will oxygen now be? Oxygen will now be 100% minus 40 plus 6.6. This should be 100 minus 40 plus 6.6. That should give you 46.6. The percentage by mass of oxygen is 53.4. If they are giving us the mass in grams, we we'll also put them here. It doesn't make any difference. What next? We are done with ma. The next is mole. What is mole? Mole is simply mass over molar mass, which means if we divide here by the molar mass, 12. We divide here by the molar mass, 1. We divide here by the molar mass, 16. We will get the number of moles. 40 divided by 12 is 3.3. 6.6 divided by 1 is 6.6. 53.4 divided by 16 is 3.3. Which means we've gotten the number of moles. They divide by the smallest number. The smallest number here is 3.3. So divided by the smallest number, here divided by 3.3, here divided by 3.3, here divided by 3.3. So you get 1, here you get 2, here you get 1. Which means the ratio is here, it's already a whole number. This is 1:2:1, which implies that the empirical formula of this compound is carbon is 1, C1, hydrogen is 2, H2, oxygen is 1, O1. But look at the question. It says find the molecular formula. Molecular formula. This is the empirical formula. And from what I said earlier, empirical formula times N is equals molecular formula. We know empirical formula, but we don't know n. How do we get n? The easiest way to get n is using this formula. N is equals molecular mass over empirical formula mass. And from the question, it says the molecular mass is 180 grams per mole. So molecular mass is 180. How about empirical formula mass? From here, we can get the empirical formula mass. The empirical formula is C1H2O1. The mass of carbon is 12 plus the mass of hydrogen is 1. Since we have 2 hydrogen, it will simply be 1 plus 1, that is 2. So 2 plus the mass of oxygen is 16, and we have just 1 oxygen, so it is simply 16. 12 plus 2 is 14. 14 plus 16, that is 30. So the mass of the empirical formula is 30. So this is 30, which means N is 180 divided by 30. That will give you 6. If N is 6, then food is ready. It simply means here is 6. C1H2O1 divided by 6 times 6 rather. 6 times 1 is 6. So C6. 6 times 2 is 12. Okay, 12. 6 times 1 is 6. O6. This is the molecular formula of the compound with the following information. With this, I hope you understand empirical and molecular formula, and I am sure you can solve as many questions as possible under empirical and molecular formula. Feel free to let me know how you feel using the comment box. Subscribe to the Flash Learners YouTube channel for more amazing videos. Tell your friends about this. Thank you.